Since Ranked came out, I have a lot of fun in Valorant, seeing in which tier my friends and I can get, but there are some things that could definitely get better with the system. As a lot of players have voiced already, the current system, which uses flex queue, isn't the best on the market, and there could be some tweaks to make it more clear where you are standing and who the best players are in the game. Riot responded to the comments on why they want to use flex pick, which is what I will talk about in today's video, with some suggestions from other games to make Ranked feel even better. Let's dive into the current issues of Valorant, Ranked, and Riot's response to why they choose this system. Currently, Riot has opted for flex queue for Ranked Valorant, which means that you can queue with whichever amount of people you want and play on the ladder. The single ladder that is available. So if you play alone for all your games or with 5 friends, you earn a tier on the same ladder as everyone else. A lot of people have a problem with this, since playing alone or with a 5 stack is a completely different experience and should be on different ladders. But the second issue that comes up is that a lot of people have to queue with 2, 3 or maybe 4 people at a time. The system then has a problem of putting you against a team with the same setup, so in theory the queue should put teams that play with 5 against other teams that play with 5. But what happens when you queue as 4 is that the system pick a solo player who is often left out of the voice chat and could get blamed more easily if it goes bad, since the other guys are friends, and it is simply not what the solo player signed up for, since the enemy team might be with a full stack. This is the problem with flex queue in a nutshell, that people don't know what to expect and what they will play against, while all wins, losses, kills and other factors put you on the same ladder, while queuing alone or as 2 is a completely different experience than queuing as 5. Riot responded to this through senior designer Drevarius Szopinski after someone stated that people will stay away from playing alone since the system isn't designed to win while you are alone. He had the following to say: "This seems like a good time to discuss our long-term intent for competitive Valorant. While we want it to be easy for players to get in and immediately start competing, we've always viewed coordinated team play as the ultimate goal and expression of ranked play. Ideally and eventually, we want to give our players a ranked experience that is much closer to competing at a professional level than any other game out there. And we want the path to pro to be something that all players can clearly see in-game. This is why the current competitive mode and queue rules are built to encourage team play. We want players to start building teams now. In the future, expect us to expand upon the ranked experience with modes that will engage teams directly. On the other hand, we recognize that players don't have pocket teams they can pull out any time they need them, and we intend to keep the competitive queue solo-friendly and accessible. This is part of why we support things like individual player performance having an impact on your overall rank." In this quote, Sean explains that Riot wants players to start forming teams now, that eventually can become a pro team when Riot starts organizing tournaments for Valorant. The system is intended to be favored for team play, since Valorant is a team game and should be played as a team on the highest tactical level, while also being accessible when people want to play alone. I believe this is counterproductive for a couple of reasons. First off, they mention the path to pro, an important vision for players that are good at the game and want to see the option to become pro. In the past, we have seen that most pro players from other games show their skills in solo queue to eventually get picked up by established teams. If people have to start teams now to compete at the highest level, it discourages the lone wolves that have much potential but no friends in the Valorant rank yet, while in League of Legends, for example, we saw a lot of people showing off what they got in solo queue to eventually get to play in a big team. Next to that, as soon as the pro circuit is announced by Riot and teams start to rise up and compete, most of these teams won't even play on the ladder. They will use their time to scrim against each other to get better in that environment. This means that the best players in the game won't even play your ranked mode. If you make a solo queue environment, the best players in solo have a way to show the teams what they got, based on pure skill, while the teams are playing customs, and enjoy playing on the solo queue ladder during their time off from the team. For the pros, it can also be time to relax and not ultra focus on the game, which is good for streaming and the attention the game gets on Twitch. I could ramble on about this for hours probably, but let's take a look at the system I believe would be good for the game, and be sure to let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about the current system. The current system looks a lot like CSGO, while Riot already has a game that is also team focused, but has a great system in place, which made the game insanely popular. League of Legends. In League, you also have to rank up from Iron all the way to Diamond to then get into Masters, and if you earn enough points, you can get into Challenger, where a select group of players get into based on their points. It's pretty much the same as top 500 in Overwatch, which is also a great example of a great idea. If you can show people that you belong to the top 500 players of the game, that simply is insane. This is all based on a points system which isn't there yet for Valorant, but the game needs it desperately in my opinion. By showing how much points you have, you not only know when you will probably rank up or down, but you can also see who actually is the best in the game. At this point, people only see that people are reaching Valorant, but who is the best of the best? We simply do not know, and that is a shame. Let's look at League, which in the olden days had a system with only points. There was one player for Lord who acquired 3000 elo, an insane number. He got picked up by a team and played in a big esports match. He managed to land an Orianna ult that changed the team fight. A dream come true for him, the perfect path to pro which Riot is talking about. He went from being good at the game to joining a team and eventually get his name shouted by the commentators. They even called that ultimate the 3000 elo ultimate, and players stuck with that phrase for a while. Putting points on the ladder creates great narratives for players and actually shows how much time they put into the game and how good they are. Again guys, let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the current system and what you want to see changed. We want to add a segment at the end of the video where we show the best plays of the community, so be sure to join our Discord and send your best Valorant plays in the highlights channel. After the next video, I will add your plays to the video to have something extra at the end for everyone to see. For now, I want to thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next one. Peace.